but my bar has my other address, one of my 3 small homes, as she puts it. Never heard of a 3 homes being a bad thing, but do you want to show that? But that needs to be redacted because it has my address on it.
So,
Would you like to not show it?
yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. So I have your Connecticut.
Oh, the Connecticut one. Yeah, I was talking about the new, but you could show the Connecticut one first.
Okay, we'll do Connecticut first.
Because Miss Kinkose said that I'm not a member of the Connecticut bar. She can't find it.
Yes.
So,
So we made sure to get a certification from the Connecticut Grievance Committee. The
correct.
Connecticut Grievance Committee says that you are a member in good standing, have been since 1994, and that you retired from the bar on February 5th of 2001 as an attorney in good standing. So you are still an attorney in good standing, and this was signed by the statewide bar council for Connecticut on September 24th, 2025, and we have a seal from them as well. So this is a very official document that shows that you are a member of the Connecticut bar in good standing.
2 things. First of all, you're killing me reading the date that I was admitted, because usually I lie about my age. So thank you for that. And second of all, I don't even know. Oh, second of all, just to be clear, not that we have anything to prove, um, you can be a retired member of the bar that is a real estate broker. You can be a retired, even though this is Connecticut. Retired just means that you are a member of the bar. You can be not retired at any minute. As you say, I'm living the good life and you're over there practicing law. At any minute, I could strike the pen and become non-retired and sue everyone myself, but I have you, so I don't need to do that. Retired just means I don't want to be bothered with a bar. And CLE and continuing education. When you're an active member, you have to do CLE and pay all sorts of dues. I don't have to pay anything. So it's not even to save money. It's just like, I'm retired. I will never practice law again. And so just to
Not having to do the CLEs every single year. Those are
no,
miserable.
no, thank you. And that's the great thing about being a real estate broker too. You have to do so many courses as a broker, not when you're a lawyer. You literally check a box that says I'm a lawyer. It says question 3, where show your CLE courses last week, the week before. You bypass all that. They're like, you passed the bar, honey. You're a member of the bar. You go sell real estate if that's what you want to do. At some point, the state might change that. But I mean, there's a lot of lawyers. Look, when I buy apartments and sell apartments on my own, I've done a lot of real estate transactions. I represent myself. So if I bought a $5 million apartment tomorrow for myself, at closing, someone would hand me $150,000. Even just any lawyer out there should just be a member of the broker just to do your own transactions. But New York, we have something in New York too. I don't know if you want to show it. This is the one that has my address. You don't have to.
Well, I was about to say, so when you brought up the address, I actually went back and I redacted it. So I could show it if you want me to show it. But keep in
Sure.
mind too, anybody who isn't able to watch this on YouTube, isn't able, to see this when it comes up, you can very easily go to the New York State Unified Court System website. This is publicly available information. You can search David Yontif, and this is the exact information that will come up. But this is a screenshot, from a search that we did just a couple of days after they started making these types of statements against you. So from February 27th, this is a screenshot from then. People can go and look today. It has not changed. This is what they will find, and this is what they will see.
And people that say things like suspended or this or that, you better be very careful with your accusations and this and that, because this will be the number one thing that gets you sued. Really. So I
Well,
would be really careful and I would have all my facts before I open my mouth. It's just, if Kelly says I have a gazillion dollars, well, someone with a gazillion dollars, all you have to do is hit send to you. And then there's a lawsuit. And people with, I guess, a gazillion dollars don't care about lawsuits because they have so much money. It's like, fuck you money, according to Kelly. So I would just be careful about mentioning the facts about my law degree. But there it
yeah,
is.
I mean, it's a sensitive subject. It's just like with the doctor, when they were attacking her
She has a
credentials.
great case too, I think. They're saying she's not this and that, and she's not a doctor, and they're saying we're going to complain to the plastic surgery board or whatever. The doctor's like, that's not
Right.
how it works.
It's not. It is very much not how it works. And similar to the police department, I think if they made those types of complaints to the medical board for California. I don't think that they would be very receptive to it. I am putting up right now, I don't know if you're okay with this. You can
Yeah, I'm
certainly
okay.
edit it out. But I am putting up the screenshot that we took that shows that you are currently registered in New York State. Your next registration is in June of 2027. You are a member in good standing within the, New York State as well. And when they're saying the next registration, I mean, we talked about this before offline, and this is why you had some lapses in the past too. I mean, you're talking about submitting a very simple form. Just checking a couple of boxes, signing your name. There's no monetary component to it. It's just getting paperwork filed essentially to show that you still want to maintain as a member of the New York State Bar.
Yeah, and like, listen, my parents were always like, what do you mean? And like, to me, technically, I don't even care if I'm a member, but I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, can thank Miss Dodd for this because on my calendar every year just popped up in Connecticut. I will never miss a Connecticut or a New York form. It's annoying when you get there's not, you don't have to pay. When you're retired, you pay zero. It's not even a money thing. Administratively, yeah, sometimes you forget forms. I will never miss a form again saying, do you still live in this address? No, I buy and sell apartments for myself all the time. I do not live in that address. Here's my new address. Good luck. Thank you, Miss Dodd, because I will never miss it again. Before we go into Sarah from Texas, and then we could really wrap up Sarah McSpadden because it's very upsetting. I think she should sue the Reality Court podcast. I think she should sue Kelly. She's a lot of stuff against her. Anything else about me that we missed? This is a
Oh
lot. This is
man,
going to be
David.
three
I mean,
parts.
like you said before, you're planning on doing multiple podcasts for what we're talking about right now. I mean, you could do an entire week. You could do all 9 of your podcasts this week with the statements that they're making.
Depending upon how highly rated this is, don't tempt me.
We'll see. We'll see. Because I mean, there's so much. We barely even talked about what was said in the reality court episode. I think we did a good job talking about the disclaimers and overall why they would put a disclaimer on there so people can go back and listen to that podcast and listen to the type of hostility and statements. Although I don't know if we really want to give them more advertising.
No.
Yeah. So
This was a freebie. I normally charge for advertising like this, based on, my understanding of my audience versus other audiences. Yeah, I think this was, I mean, I usually charge. I'm promoting a great podcast. Speaking of which, you say I'm such an expert, but I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, mean this. Everybody should listen to the Good Edit podcast. You stepped into this one, Chad. The Good Edit podcast. It is one of Bravo's newest podcasts. They are a wonderful sponsor. They do deep dives and recaps. This, you and I are doing a deep dive. I don't normally do deep dives. I do 9 episodes a week. This is not said with any ego, whether I do a deep dive or I just turn on the microphone and say, I'm fucking tired today, you guys. I'm sorry. My wonderful audience does not seem to leave. Me just being exhausted and not doing a deep dive seems to rate just as high as a deep dive. It's a lot easier not to do a deep dive. So I say that not ego. I say that to this audience. I don't know how after 7 years you're not sick of me. But if you want a good deep dive like we've done here today, go listen to the Good Edit podcast because they did a deep dive on Erica Jane and Bronwyn, and they do what I can never do. I'm not good at deep dives. If I didn't do 9 episodes a week and I would do a deep dive, I have no time.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. There has been a lot of work that we've been putting into this so far. You've been a great client, great to work with. But yeah, no, I mean there were lots of videos, there were hours of footage. We went through transcripts of these episodes and we put it together in tables charting all of these statements. So, like I said, we could go through. We have about 15 of those episodes that we've done that deep dive for at this point. I'm sure we could put more into those as well if they want to force our hand into doing that. But it
When
takes
they
a lot of time, and we'll continue doing it. We have a lot more to talk about. We only, I think, tip of the iceberg at this point with the statements and evidence that we have at this point.
Yes, well, all the clapbacks, then we'll be back so we can keep this going forever. Before we go, let's talk about my friend Sarah McSpadden, Sarah from Texas. There were recent claims, there were 2 recent claims on the Reality Court podcast and with Kelly, 2 separate claims. The first claim is that, and it's very upsetting, Sarah got this. Look, Sarah is somebody who I absolutely love dearly. I think she should hire me for an hour. I love her dearly. I would say this to her face to talk about how to not care at all. I think Sarah cares, which makes her a wonderful human being. They said that she has a restraining order filed against her by Jeff Lewis. Jeff Lewis is famous. When she started her career, Sarah, she focused mainly on recapping Jeff Lewis stuff. Jeff knows her. They've spoken before. So they said on the rail that she has I think I told her she should contact you to sue. That would be my advice to her, that she has a restraining order against her by Jeff Lewis. That's a real strong claim.
Yeah, it is. And, I know that she hasn't hired us yet. I know that she's not our client, but again, this is not stalking. This is not, cyberbullying or anything like that. We just went and we checked the public dockets in Texas to see if in the unified court system of Texas, if there were any filings for a restraining order. We also checked California, even though it'd be unlikely.
Because that's where Jeff lives. So, like, to me, he lives in Highland Park. Everyone knows that. So I would have thought California, but you checked Texas and California to see if there's any restraining order against Sarah McSpadden.
Exactly, because the reason why we started with Texas first is because if it came from California, if it came from any other state within the United States, if Sarah lives in Texas, it needs to be what's called domesticated, which means that it's brought within the state court's jurisdiction. So there would have to be some sort of a state court proceeding that's opened, even if it originated from another state. They would have had to have opened a court proceeding solely for the purpose of bringing her within that court's jurisdiction to enforce the restraining order, especially if she ever violated it. So I know that there's been a lot of statements saying that they have such an order, but we have checked the California dockets, we have checked the Texas dockets. Really, we don't have a need to check the other states' dockets, but we could certainly do that as well if they want to try to come back and say, "Oh, it was filed in Missouri, and you're not going to find it in either of these dockets." Okay, we'll go check Missouri. But those are the two most likely spots where it would have originated from, and there's absolutely nothing in the court system involving Mr. Black and Sarah. So there's
Mr.
nothing.
Lewis.
Or
Jeff
Mr.
Lewis.
Lewis. I'm sorry, Mr.
It's
Lewis.
okay. I don't expect you to know all these people. No, and shout out to Sarah _from_Texas_podcast_. That's her Instagram. Go Sarah. She started small. She's got a really loyal following. Like I said, that's really my main reason for doing this. I have you. I know I can handle myself. Things don't bother me.